I had planned to do an episode on this heat wave going on all over the world, and there is a heat wave in Europe, there's a heat wave in America, and yet here where I am in England, it's overcast, the skies are grey and cloudy, it's raining, and the weather has been quite cool. I've got to say, this is the rainiest July I have ever experienced, and apparently there's more rain to come in August. So I listened to some of Helen's live today, and I've got a lot to say about the things that she said. I think Helen thinks that I'm in some group. I'm not quite sure. I think she thinks that everybody who speaks to Bam or has spoken to Bam in the past or has been friendly with her in the past is one of Bam's minions. And I'm no one's minion. Neither is Genetic Code. And let me just say this, Helen. If you notice, when I do my podcasts and my videos, even when I've made videos about you, I have never once, ever talked about how you look or anything like that. That's not me. And I'm not saying that you said that I did that either, but I'm just want to make it clear to you that I'm a very fair, objective and balanced person. And as for Frankie backing away from Kelly, I think Frankie pulled away from Kelly when he realized he couldn't get any more money out of her. Now, I know that Bam is extreme, and I know that she has high expectations, and I know that she goes to the knuckle. And I'm very, very aware of who she is as a person, and people who are friends with her or who are subscribed to her are very aware of who she is. Like everybody, she has flaws. All of us do. No one is perfect. Me, myself, I've got a ton of flaws. But, you're lumping everybody up who has spoken to Bam or speaks to Bam as if they're all under Bam's influence. And that's not the case. So that's what I would like to discuss today. So first of all, many people who are subscribed to Bam, not only do they have their own minds and their own opinions, but a lot of those people donated to Frankie. And after finding out that Claire Morgan wasn't really an attorney or a lawyer, and after subsequently finding out other things about Frankie, they wanted refunds. And so they turned from nice to not so nice. And that's what happens when things start to fester. Okay? But to, put everybody in a group and try and say that, make one side good, your side is apparently the good side, and make the other side negative, I think is very, very unfair. A lot of people from Bam's channel donated to Frankie out of the goodness and kindness of their hearts. I didn't donate to Frankie, even though I was closer to him than anyone in Bam's channel. And I didn't donate to him. So I think the fact that you are just painting all of Bam's subscribers with one brush and saying that they're all sheep, they're all holding hands with the sheep, that they're all the same, that they're all under her influence, that they're all her minions, I think that's very, very unfair. We all know what Bam is about. We all know what Bam is like, and we all know that she has her flaws and imperfections, just like everybody else. And I can tell you about this another time. I'm not going to discuss it now. But also, the case with Genetic Code, you have that completely the opposite to what it really is. Genetic Code was a very, very steadfast, authentic, focused, dedicated to the cause when it came to AD. And it came to a point, and I can't speak for Genetic Code because I'm not her, but it did come to a point when she realized that Claire Morgan was not a real lawyer. And then she started asking questions, and she started coming into Bam's channel and talking to Bam. And we all know, no matter how imperfect Bam is, no matter how full of herself or egotistical she comes across, we all know that what she said about Claire, what Bam said about Claire, is ultimately the truth. Okay? There are things that Bam says that I don't agree with, and there's things that I say that she doesn't agree with. But ultimately, when it came to Claire, we all know that she was telling the truth. And we had other evidence to back that up. The fact that she didn't respond to prompts when it came to AD's channel. So we all know what Claire is and what she isn't. We were all clear about that. And Bam was the first one, or one of the first people. I'm not saying necessarily she was the very first person, but she was one of the first people to be very vocal about Claire. And when Genetic Code started to ask questions and put the questions out there about Claire, Frankie stopped coming to her channel. He used to come to her live streams before this Claire fiasco. Frankie was very, very active in Genetic Code in JC's live streams. But once she started to question the Claire thing, Frankie disappeared from her live streams, didn't have anything to do with her ever again. And let me just make it clear to show you that I'm not one of Bam's minions. I don't agree with any of Bam's opinions on the Watts case when it regarding Shanann, in terms of, I believe Chris is fully responsible, and I believe he's fully responsible. I don't believe that it's Shanann's fault at all. I believe that he is fully responsible for his own actions. I don't believe Shanann was perfect in any way. I think she had a lot of character flaws. But I believe that Chris is fully responsible for his actions. And I believe that he alone is responsible for his actions. I also don't have the sympathy that Bam does for Cindy and Ronnie Watts, because they've gone from channel to channel, trying to create a story and a narrative that I don't believe is true to the case. And there's other things as well. And like I said, she is extreme. So I don't indulge in all that extremeness. However, the fact of the matter is, it remains that Bam was being completely honest about Claire and what Claire was doing. And that she was a big part of the reason why people know about Claire and know why the countdown didn't work out, because of Claire. I also can tell you that I am not as supportive towards AD as Bam is either. I won't be donating a penny to AD towards anything. And like I said, I don't believe there's ever going to be a courtroom meeting between Frankie and AD. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Could I be wrong? Of course I could. Can't always be right. But I don't believe that Frankie and AD are ever going to meet in a courtroom. On top of that, I don't understand why there's all this focus on AD on your part and the part of many of the people that you hang around with, at least online. Why is there all this focus on AD when Dave is far more extreme than AD has ever been towards the Rusex? I understand that AD was the first. I understand that. And I don't like AD's content when it comes to these cases. I don't like what he does with these cases, with the Watts case and the other case. No, I don't. And I would never donate to AD. However, when it comes to the atmosphere online and things that have been said, I don't think AD has been nearly as extreme as Dave towards the Rusex. So why is there all this focus on AD? This is what I don't understand. So I just wanted to clear up a few things. Many of people in Bam's channel have their own opinions and their own minds. And it just so happens that Bam may have been very, very good to them and they've stayed loyal to her, regardless of the fact that they might not agree with everything that she says and does. She has been good to them and they've remained loyal to her. So, we're all different. Bam's channel is Bam's channel. My channel is my channel. Genetic Code's channel is Genetic Code's channel. And we are responsible for the content that we put out. And we're all different people. We might talk from time to time, but ultimately we're different people with our own opinions.